Okay, yeah, I'm just because I moved at folders. I might have to be waiting at 10 minutes for the first time because I did I did
Oh
have to
yeah,
wait 10 minutes, but it was more than 10 minutes because I had like three times it crashed to the desktop before it actually got to the. But we'll see. See.
okay.
Yeah, this plane is a mix between like a big airliner and then like a smaller GA plane. This
Okay.
is a this is very much a pilot's airplane. It keeps you busy.
It does.
Yeah, I was watching. I was watching Captain Canada in it this afternoon, so I was like, "All right, enough's enough. Time to get it." Because like to wait till the next series come out. I'd want
Yeah,
the
no,
next series anyway, so might as well get it now.
yeah. And they said it's not going to come out till October now.
Yeah, well, especially with the world update stuff being delayed to 2 more weeks. That,
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
I think what they're trying to do is they know they messed up very big with this SU5 update. So now they're really making sure that the SU6 update doesn't cause what it caused, because I could even play this game or this sim for like the first week, 2 weeks after that update because it just kept CTDing.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the better the computer you had, the worse problems you had with the sim.
Yeah, well, because it wasn't a SU5, it was hotfix one that killed me. Like getting CTDs a lot. And then I tried what they had said to get rid of the fly by wire, but then that wasn't helpful either. All right, so I'm gonna go to the what EFB is the iPad. Okay,
yep. Go into the EFB and go to options,
okay.
and then you can set things that you want to set here.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then, but on page 2, next page, calibrate throttle. So I don't know if you have a dual axis or a single axis. Probably a dual, huh?
Yeah, dual. Yeah.
Okay. So I am not really as familiar with the dual axis setup. Mountain might be.
Oh, because dual axis would be if I have the reverse thrust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've got the Logitech gear, so that it goes down to 0, and then there's a reverse. So I should go to dual axis then,
I
or
think so.
throttle
Yes,
hardware. So
if it if you have the reverse axis, use dual.
oh
The
So
single the single axis is like what Joe has, where he just has one
stick.
stick
Yeah, one throttle lever.
yeah.
which controls both of them. So because like I have the Bravo, so it's got all those throttles that I can individually set to.
So then what I could end up doing is I can put it at 100, and put that as max power. Then maybe put it at 75. Put that as toga, and then like 50 climb, and then idle 25, and then like. But yeah, I don't know if that's because it's not picking up when I go reverse. It goes.
So with this sim, it's very different with the airliners because um the way that like I have mine set up, like my reverse on my Bravo, like my thrust reverse is the throttle cutoff, but I had to go in the options and do it like that because it wasn't recognizing it.
Okay.
But like my best suggestion is just start somewhere and just play around with it
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna.
see if you like it.
I'll go with the single axis throttle. The throttle hardware has no reverse axis.
Yeah, just do that to keep it simple. Then you could
Yeah.
add the other later.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Oh. now it's like it's because I had it at 100%. So then once I calibrated that, the engine was going.
Oh yeah.
And then
You can go to aircraft on the EFB and put it to cold and dark
okay.
if you want to, and then you can set the throttles and make sure that the detents make sense to you.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
then also see where on the aircraft tab, sorry.
Yep. On the aircraft tab.
See down at the very bottom it says default state.
Yep.
You can change that to where it'll spawn in ready for taxi, cold and dark, or what's the
Any
one?
of them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So would I click on that to change that default state or to actually go to the default?
You would
Go
change.
ahead.
You would click on that to change the default state
Okay.
next time you
Yeah.
spawned in.
Yeah. So I put it to cold and dark.
Cool.
All right. And then I have to do the performance. Performance setting all the weight, but that's all based off of flight plan.
Right, but I can tell you what
Okay.
to put in there from my flight plan.
Yeah,
And
sure.
one nice thing
Oh,
on this EFB is see where it says change to zero fuel weight
Yep.
at the top left. Click on that, and it simplifies the process.
Okay.
Let me pull up what I got. So for our zero fuel weight, we want to put in, it says 55,016 pounds, but I always round up to the next
All the way
100. So 55,100. You gotta backspace first to get rid of whatever's there.
Okay. Oh, okay. That backspace. Okay. 50.
Yeah, and then go down to fuel, and we'll put in. I got 10.6 thousand pounds. Are you in pounds or kilograms?
It's in kilograms. Let's
Oh.
let's
Can
go
you
check.
go back and change it to pounds?
Yeah, I've changed it to
Thanks.
pounds. Barometer. What's used in the U.S.?
Yeah.
HPA or INGH?
Inches. Yeah.
Inches. Okay. Save option.
And then save options.
So what was the zero fuel?
So, the zero fuel weight, put in 55,100.
55,100.
And then for block fuel, we'll go 11,000. I'm adding a little extra.
Okay, 11,000.
11,000.
Okay.
And then if you go down that column, you'll see right now it's calculated your takeoff trim at 7.2. So we'll note that. But anyway, press set payload in simulator. And
yeah,
then
yeah, because it has me at 6.8 takeoff trim.
oh, okay. But you have 55,100 and
Yeah.
11,000 for. That's weird that we would have different trims, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm in the 700. Are you? Or are you in the 550?
No, I'm in the 700.
And your screen looks like mine?
Yeah.
55,000. I'll look over there.
Yeah, 55,100, and you got 7.2. Yeah, it's because the toe weight is slightly different. That's the only thing that's.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, it'll work.
Yeah, it's the payload.
Did you hit enter
different.
when you pressed 11,000? Did you press the enter button?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so go down set payload in simulator and then copy perfinite data to FMS. Hit both of those.
Okay.
Yep, hit both of those, and then we can come over here and on the right column, we'll take off with flaps 8. That's typical.
Okay.
Unless you're in some high altitude place, and then set all under your V speeds. You can click on set all.
Yep. And the same thing with the landing speeds.
We'll do that. Yes, you could do that now, but we'll try to remember to do that as we get closer because it's based off your weight.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
All right, so we got that in, and then when Mountain gets back here, you're cold and dark right now?
Yeah, cold and dark.
Okay, you can go to the EFB aircraft and put ground power cart, click on it so that it's connected to the plane. It's the top right.
Oh, yeah, okay. There it is, connected.
Okay, and then if you come over to your upper panel, you should see AC available. And the top, there's 3 columns, right? So the top left one is electrical power.
Okay.
You click the battery master switch to on.
Just a second, I'm gonna try to shimmy over. I think there should be one. Shouldn't I be able to use numbers? No.
Oh, like the views aren't really that well set.
Okay.
So but once you get a view you like, you can save it. But anyway, you can see that master battery. Flip that on. It's up.
Okay, so master battery. Okay, set that on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's on. Do I have to put on
I think it is. I don't think it's on. Is it?
Yeah.
There you go. Now click on that available. The green available tells you the ground power is available. Click on that.
Okay.
I keep forgetting there's a delay in the stream.
Yeah.
So, okay. You got that. And then, Mountain, are you back? You want to put, he's better at this than me, but come down to the bottom of the column, turn on your nav light and your logo light.
Okay.
The bottom of that column.
Yeah.
And then in the second column, we could go ahead and give power to our APU so it starts spooling up. So you click the APU because we'll need that eventually.
Power then start?
Yeah, power first and then start. And the white start light will turn on.
Okay.
And then if you come down to your main panel, you'll see on the left MFD. I'll call it MFD. It's probably not the right word, but you'll see your APU RPM start to speed up and EGT, so you know it's activating. It's kind of the one near the co-pilot.
Yeah, I see APU, door open.
Yeah, good.
RPM hasn't moved yet.
Okay, and do you have the white start lit? So next to power fuel for the APU, you click on start stop, and it should light up white. Is it not doing that?
No, there was a white light, and then I pressed on it, but was I supposed to press on it or not?
Well, let's just start again. I'm not sure what happened. So
Okay.
power fuel, and then we look down, and you should see that when you do that, I think it says the APU door is open. And then you can click start, stop, and
Okay.
it should light up
Okay, because
in white.
it says that it's closed. Now I just pressed it.
Now hit power. Yeah.
I just pressed it again. And okay, APU door open.
Now hit start. Should light up white.
Okay, now it's white.
Okay, then when it's spooling up, you should be able to see that down on your screen.
Yes. Okay, so when it went white, I wasn't supposed to press on it. Okay.
Right. So now you'll see up there it says green available. That means you've got power from there if we want to use it. Right now it's using the ground power, and it does this automatically. So once we move the ground power away, it'll automatically shift over and use the power from the APU.
Okay.
You don't have to manually change it like in the 737.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then up on the third column on the right,
Yeah.
we want to turn your recirculating fan on if it's not already.
Good.
And then the packs, left and right packs, should not have a light on them.
No lights.
So the air conditioning.
Okay. So like click them off then.
You're actually turning them on when you click them. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and click on both of them, and then
what was the other thing just before
turn
that?
on the recirculating fan right next to it. That toggle switch to the right of that.
Okay.
Up above. Yeah, it's just to the right of those two pack switches.
Yeah. Okay. I got it because I just looked at your screen and yeah, I've got it on now.
Cool. Again, it's a little bit of beginner leading beginner here. Come down a little bit under anti-ice. We want to make sure that your windshield left and right heat are on low.
Oh, that's the cow.
Yeah, below that. Left and right windshield.
And they makes.
And you could do your probes right now too. Turn all those. Put those two on low, and then your probes on.
Yeah.
And you'll see below that there's a light switch, miscellaneous lights, and it says overhead. It's a dial. You can turn up your integrated lights up above from there if you'd like.
That's not the windshield left and right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Must have been
Turn
on.
those on low. Okay, they might have already been on it.
Yeah, it's hard to
And then
press. It's hard to press them.
Yeah, you need to use your mouse wheel with these switches. So you hover over them and use your mouse wheel if you have that.
Okay.
And then you'll... Yeah, that's how you have to use these.
Okay.
And then below that, you'll see the passenger signs. You want to turn those seatbelt no smoking on. The emergency lights should be down in the armed position.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what we could do now, if Mountain, are you back? we could go to the FMC,
Okay.
and the first thing you'll want to do is click on pause init on your McDo or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Pause my.
Pause init is already the lowest right side key
Oh yes.
on
okay.
the screen.
Yep.
Okay. I'm dealing with a little delay, so I wait until I see it.
So then I got the FMS position. Airports just squares. I can put.
Yeah, so go to page 2, so hit next page. We want to, oh, I forgot to do something. Can you look down in the center panel?
Yep.
And at the very bottom of the left column in the center panel between the co-pilot and pilot seats, you'll see the navigation farther down. You're going to have to move your view a little bit. And you can click on that armrest to make it disappear, the pilot's armrest.
Yeah. So further down.
Further down, yeah. See those two knobs at the very bottom left?
Yep.
You want to turn those onto nav.
Yeah, to navigate.
And then we can come back up to the...
To the McDo or the FMC or...
Yeah.
what? Okay. Would I put it in the airport at this time?
You can. It's not mandatory.
Okay.
It helps.
Oh yeah, because you have to put it in, then you press K.
Right. So KSFO.
Okay.
It's the clear button. Okay, you got it. Oh. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to the next page of this pause init screen. You see at the upper right, it says page 1 of 3. So
Yeah.
you know you can go to the next page over.
Do I use a down arrow or?
There's a next page and previous page button.
Oh yeah.
the top.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a little different than others. And when you get to that next page, you should see, you want to copy one of these. So you do that by clicking the button on the left of them, one of those lines.
Okay.
Click it, and it'll copy that down into your scratch pad.
Yep.
And then go back to page 1. So previous page.
Yep.
And then paste it. Click on the right side key next to those squares, and it'll paste that in there.
Under for the set position. Okay.
It will copy into there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's copied.
And then you'll see the flight plan thing at the very lower right side key.
Yep.
Go into your flight plan. And you don't have a flight plan in there, but you'll see there's some blank spaces, one of which is route. Now, if you use SimBrief, you can set this plane up so that you would put in the route. You'd type, this doesn't apply to you, but
Okay.
it would be KSFO, CYVR, all one word. And you paste it into route, and it would bring your SimBrief flight plan right into the McDo.
Okay.
So yeah, you can go put CYVR in destination.
Okay. And then it says distance 695.
Right, and so then you could go to, you want to execute, which is a button, a hard button,
Okay.
below the next page button.
Mm-hmm. That's done.
Okay. Okay. So if we go to the flight plan, which is the third button below from the left below the screen.
Okay.
I can tell you what to enter. So the first via is going to be, oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Can you go to departure arrival on your?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm there.
This is where we're going to put in our SID and star.
Okay.
So click departure arrival, and we're going to select runway 28 right from the right side, and you need to press next page to move down a page in these.
Runway 28 right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got that selected.
Okay, and then you'll
Execute.
come back over. Yep, and then come back over to the. We're looking for the truckin' to departure, so it'll be on the next page.
True.
Next page. Sorry, I'm again on a delay.
Yeah.
To departure. Yeah.
Okay. We're looking right now for a SID.
Yeah. Would it be possible for you to share your screen in Discord, because
Yeah.
that way there wouldn't be a delay, I think.
Okay.
I should have thought of that before. Okay, so we want to look for the truckin' 2, which should be on the next page.
Page. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought I was looking for like something, but that's the name of the SID. Truckin' 2.
That's the name of the SID.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Click that, and then we're going to select the transition, which is deadhead.
Okay, deadhead.
So
yeah.
click on that. Yep, you'll see it goes to selected, and then we'll hit execute.
Execute.
And then we'll go back to the departure arrival index. And then we'll click on our arrival. Now, sometimes you might wait and do this in flight, but even I've watched several videos, real life pilots, they'll put in what they expect
And then
at this point.
Then if you really have to change it, you can change it down in the
Right.
air. Okay.
So we'll start with our runway approach, ILS 8 right to Vancouver.
Okay.
Click that, and we're going to select YVR as the transition. Okay, and then on the other side, we're going to select the Grizzly 6 star, and the transition is going to be PAE, Pain VOR.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit execute.
Then back to the index.
And then we can go to legs now, and
Okay.
let's see what you got. So go to next page. So right now it's going from the end of our SID to the beginning of our star. So we'll go back to flight plan and put the intermediate waypoints in.
Okay.
And it'll be on page 2, I believe. Yeah. So after deadhead, we're going to type in, I got to look at mine. Below deadhead, or first we're going to type in RBL into the scratch pad.
Okay. RBL.
RBL for Red Bluff VOR. And then we're going to click below deadhead on that right side key.
Okay.
To paste it up into that spot.
The next one's LL01? Or is that an O?
Hold on one second. I can't even see it. Direct. Yeah, LL01. I don't. That's a weird. It's a weird thing, but.
Not found.
Okay. let's try this, because it gave it a weird name in here. Oh no, it's in there. LL01. Are you sure that didn't? Oh, you know what? Press your clear button down by your number pad, the bottom right.
Yep.
Clear, till you don't have that not found in your.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's still not found unless it
Okay.
delete.
For purposes of this exercise here, let's just skip that one and go to direct put PAE under Red Bluff.
Okay, so that'll be on the next page then.
No, it'd be on this page. Right under Red Bluff, there's a dashed line on the second page.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So
the right side key.
okay.
There you go. And then
Bezov.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Oh. Hang on one second. Let's go to your legs page and see how it looks.
Okay.
So Deadhead, Red Bluff, next page. Pane. Okay. So we have 2 panes in there right now. So click the lower pane on the side key to the left of it.
Yep.
And it'll copy in, and then click the upper pane side key. And it'll copy into there, and it'll get rid of that discontinuity.
Okay.
Yeah, so then we can hit execute.
I feel like an assassin. I'm always executing.
Okay, and then I think if you continue on your legs page,
Okay.
you see we have a vector here. Now, the vectors can be left in. That YVR doesn't seem correct to me. Hold on. TAE.
Yeah, because you have YVR, but then you have NACMA.
Yeah. So, can you go to the next leg page, please?
Okay.
And the next one. Okay. Previous page. Previous page. Just checking it. I'm cross-referencing it with my own.
Yeah, because I have an extra page compared to yours. Because I have 6 pages. Ed says, this is cool stuff. Yeah.
Oh. All right, go to the next page. I think
Yeah.
I figured it out. Copy that bubble, the left side key next to bubble.
Yep.
So it copies in. Go back to the previous page,
Okay.
and then we're gonna paste that in to that where it says vector, and then execute.
Oh, down to 5 pages.
Yeah, and give me just 1 second.
Okay.
I don't know how we got slightly different flight plans, but you know what? We'll work it out
Okay.
in the air.
I'm going to Istanbul.
Yeah, so your legs page looks okay. What we would do now is go to MFD menu. It's in the middle at the bottom of the the
Okay.
main keys, and then we're gonna see where it says off on the left.
Yep.
Click on that until it gets to VNav.
VNav. Yeah, I saw that in a video.
Okay. Yeah, and then see over there. So that's putting VNav information on your PFD for the upcoming waypoints. Like it'll tell you how long it is to your next descent point.
Okay.
So then click on the left right. See where it says LR.
Yeah.
The lower right side key. Click on that. Now we're controlling the co-pilots, and then click it to on the left side key. There you go. That's good. This is based off of a Filbert Flies video with the real CRJ pilot that I took notes on. You would want to go to the perf page now.
Okay.
Now these will probably be already selected by default, but you see that advisory VNav? We want to enable that.
Okay.
So it is enabled because it's in green.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we will go to perf init again. And we'll see the fuel that we brought in is in there, but it's going down because your APU is running. It's going down slowly.
Okay.
The cruise altitude is 36,000. You can pop that in the top right. If you had brought this plan from SynBrief, this would be pre-filled.
Okay.
So it doesn't have your zero fuel weight. So let's go back to the EFB and click that send to, remember over in the performance?
Yeah.
And then go down to bottom right or bottom left. Do the set payload simulator and copy perfinit data to FMS. Click that one too.
Because just before I clicked that, it was at 7.2. Now it's back to 6.8.
Yeah, I really don't think it's going to be a big deal,
Yeah.
especially SFO with huge long runways. But
Okay. So I pressed that.
so there it goes. It filled in the zero fuel weight now and the cargo.
Okay.
So then if we go on page 2 of Perfinet, this is where you put in your wins and stuff. Again, this would be filled in, but let me give you the value. See that ISA on the left? We're going to put,
Okay.
stand by. We're going to put in 8.
8? Okay.
And, yeah, 8, and copy it in there. And then for the wins, the cruise wins, we don't need to do the climb and descent wins. It's a little bit of overkill, but for the cruise wins, we'll put in 308/047. So the winds, the average cruise wind is going to be from heading 308 at 47 knots.
308/047.
Correct, and then paste it in next to cruise wind there. Yep. And then on the next page, let's see, we don't really need to do anything in this page at this point. There's a few things we can. Now we should actually go back to the EFB again.
Okay.
This is probably where it's going to change to 7.2. Now that we've put that in the thing, try and set all V speeds again for takeoff. Just click that set all. Now let's go back down to the Did it? I'm sorry. What trim did it say now? Is it still saying 6.8 on the EFB?
Yeah, still 6.8.
Okay. So go back over towards there, and then if you look up to the right side where the APU information is on that screen, you see your trim is there. Right now it's set at 7.6. It's the green at the top right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We want to dial that down to your takeoff trim 6.8. We're setting that now just so we don't forget.
Yeah, 6.8.
All right. And it's a little premature right now, but let's go ahead since Mountain's not here. Let's set your flaps to 8.
Okay.
Normally you'd wait to do this until you had your engines on, but we can do it now.
Okay.
And then see you have thrust reversers here on, they're closer to you next to the speed brake, left and right thrust reverser.
Yep.
Turn those on. And then look farther down on the center panel. You'll see right in the middle column, there's a yaw damper with a circle and 2 switches there.
Yep.
Click on both of those 2 buttons once. Okay. And then after we start our engines, if you come down to the bottom of the left column, we'll still need to set stabilizer trim and mock trim, but I think we need to wait until the engines are on to set those.
Okay.
Mountain, are you back? I guess not. I don't know what happened to our boy Mountain here.
He's probably he's probably packing.
Yeah. Can you zoom into your MFD where the yellow and red warnings are listed? I just want to see what you got going on here.
So I got the oil, spoiler-ons, mock trim, stabilizer trim.
I can read that there. Okay, so I'm not sure that we haven't forgot something, but we could go ahead probably now and push back. Before we do that, you want to just turn your lights, the appropriate lights on your plane to do it right.
Yeah.
Which would be your beacon light would come on at this point. And then
strobe?
you can no, that's supposed to come on right before the runway.
Okay.
I don't know how I am not a real pilot, so
Oh yeah.
it doesn't matter that much to me if you want to just do this stuff now.
And then
yeah.
We're just real sim pilots.
Yeah. We can go ahead while we're up here. Turn on all of those hydraulic switches.
Okay.
So they're in the bottom. Yep. Put them to auto. Excuse me.
Auto. Okay.
There's one. The second one, it only has an on and off, so it goes on. And then you put the other ones on auto. And then you can go to the top of that column and turn on the 2 fuel pumps, the top of the middle column. The left and right boost pumps.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you go back to the EFB, we can disconnect the ground power cart and under aircraft. Disconnect that. And then very important that I always forget is the wheel chocks on the left column are in place right now. We need to pull those off. So click that button. All right. At this point, you can get a pushback.
Okay. Did you say you forget that?
I always forget it. Yeah, and you're like, why am I pushing back so incredibly slowly?
Yeah. All right. Let's go for pushback.
And while you're doing that, I think I'll push back as well.
Okay.
San Francisco ground, Sizzlone Alpha Echo 777 requesting pushback.
San Francisco ground, Sizzlone Alpha Echo 777, no pushback tug is available to answer your request.
No pushback tug is available.
Uh-oh.
San Francisco
Um,
ground, Sizzlone Alpha.
Are you in a
Echo
place where you could go
777
forward without hitting a building?
San Francisco
No.
ground, Sizzlone Alpha Echo 777, no
No?
pushback tug
Okay.
available to answer your request.
You've got to push.
I'm on the west server, by the way.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if you want to switch it so I can see you
Yeah.
in the game. And then there's more traffic over here.
Yeah, west.
Let me see. This will be one for mountain because we're probably going to have to use thrust reversers to
Yeah.
back you out.
Yeah. That is weird. And yeah, your pushback looks different. Like I've never seen a pushback like that, where it's the tug speed and the tug direction like that.
This is a great add-on from flightsim.to. It's called Ambitious Pilot.
Oh, okay.
Ambitious Pilot, I forget the rest of the name, but if you search for that, it works really well. And you can use your joystick to control the way you're... I'll show you while we're
Yeah.
waiting
Well,
here. So it calls the tug. And obviously then it hooks up. You can also use it to control the fuel and catering, baggage.
wow.
It's a free add-on.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it to anybody who's listening. It's made things really nice.
Because I've used there's a Pogan at, like for the Airbus, and it's like it's not just that, but or maybe it's two things, but it's like a pushback thing, but it's more customized, but it's still cumbersome.
Yeah.
This looks easy. This is almost like the better pushback for X-plane kind of deal. Although you don't have have the direction of how like where it's going, but you can control.
But you can use that slider, or you can. I'm using my yoke here
yeah.
to steer where I want this to go. I'm just gonna pull out here and.
I'm here. I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, great, because for some reason he's in a place where he can't get a pushback, and so we're going to need to use his reverse thrust, I think, to get him out of his parking gate. And I was hoping that you might... I never really used the reverse thrust.
Is the tug not coming to you?
Yeah, they're saying there's no tug,
Sizzlone Alpha Echo 777
no tug available.
Okay, so
Francisco ground, Sizzlone Alpha Echo
are your brakes off?
777, no
Are the
pushback
engines
tug
are the
available
engines
to
running
answer your
already?
request.
Engine, no.
Oh, but the APU's running. He's ready to push back, I think. His chocks are removed.
Okay, fire up the engines, and then we'll just have to see if we could do it in
Okay.
reverse thrust.
Okay.
So to fire up the engines, you come up... Do you want to walk him through it?
He can slow, right?
Yeah, but he could also start the engines.
Yeah, copy that.
Yeah.
So it's very easy. You come up here, and we're gonna
Okay, so
click on start one at a time. Yeah, it's in the center column above the hydraulics towards the bottom.
Okay.
And hit right engine start. And then we'll come down and look at what's going on with your engines. You should see your N2 start to come up. Your N2 in your...
It's gonna be right there,
Yeah.
right underneath.
Yeah,
the-
see it down there on the... It's spooling up. So when it gets to about 20, you're going to want to come down to your throttles and look at them. And see that little red tab underneath the right throttle? You want to click it to release it. That's a lock.
Okay.
Click it and then move your throttle up to idle. That right throttle. But that red thing only stays up for a second. So you got to, yeah. You put it in idle, and then if you go back up and look at the ECAS or whatever, the screen there,
Do the
No,
other one?
no, where your N2 was. See, you'll see your right engine starting up, 6, 7,
Okay.
and when it gets to about 20, then it's going to stabilize and it'll be on. And then Mountain, I'm not sure. How long do you have to wait before you do the other engine? We could probably do it now.
So you want to wait till the engine, the engine, whichever one you're starting, is stabilized. So
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I
because
I think it's
stabilize.
stabilized.
Yeah.
so do the same thing with the left engine start, and then unlocking the fuel lever.
So with that red lever, you can just move the throttle up. What that red lever does is it stops you. It's a lock from keeping you from going idle to shut off.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize that you had to do that, or
Yeah. So
that you could just push it up without pressing
yeah.
that.
So during start, you can just push it up without lifting the red lever.
Oh,
Okay.
and so that should go up and stabilize at about 22.2%,
Okay.
or 22. That is a percentage figure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think max is like 99.9. Oh yeah.
And now I think you could come, while we're waiting for that, you can come back down and we can get those trims turned on. The
Yeah.
Mach trim and the stabilizer trim in the center pedestal.
Trying to get that.
Yeah, the views are
Yeah.
sometimes challenging.
Yeah, and what I'm gonna do is, next couple days I'll put that on my stream deck so I can then just flip to the instruments right away.
Yep. Click both stabilizer trim buttons once,
Okay.
and then click that Mach trim button,
Yep.
and illuminate or not illuminated is good. While we're here, see that little radio unit Collins right above Mach trim?
Yep.
You want to turn that to standby. And then on the right, or just to the left of that, we want to move that ATC select into position 1.
Okay.
All right. And there's lights in the center column too that you may or may not want to adjust.
Right, okay. Let's I'll display floodlights, cabin.
Yeah, it's probably good for now because we're in
Yeah.
the daytime.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to know.
And if you go to the right of your McDo, let's just make sure that your anti-skid is armed for takeoff. I think it is, or else we'd see a warning. So it's armed. That top toggle switch next to the McDo says anti-skid. You're good. Okay,
Okay.
Mountain, could you help them with the backup reversing?
It's easy. Just take your thrust reversers and arm them. Pull them
Which
up.
are the two little handles towards the very front of the throttles, the two white handles that are not
Okay.
the throttle.
The
You
two-
just pull them up with your mouse, I guess.
probably have to rotate. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, those two white knobs.
No.
They're not clicking on.
Yeah, not clicking on.
Mountain, how do you do that?
Does he have them bind to something?
I don't think so. I can check.
I think you can just click on them, left click with your mouse. Let me see how it works in mine. Again, I don't.
Here, I'll go take a look here. Controls.
Good thing I never use them.
Yeah, so toggle throttle reverse thrust or hold throttle reverse thrust.
I think it would be toggle, right? You want to assign toggle?
Stand by. Hold on. I'm getting into my settings
Okay.
because the Microsoft and the CRJ are weird about what they call them. So it's throttle to decrease.
Throttle to decrease.
We might have to slew.
Yeah. Yeah, because
We
throttle
can try this, but
throttle to decrease.
throttle number 2 decrease and number 1 decrease. I think he's saying you want to map a. Is it a button mountain or?
I have throttle to decrease and I put it to a button.
Okay. Because if I search for decrease. Yeah, I can't see it. Wait, so the control name would be throttle to decrease, or
Yeah, so look up throttle.
okay, throttle.
And then scroll down. It'll say like throttle decrease for 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, okay, throttle decrease, throttle 1 and throttle 2. Okay. And then put something for that. Try to figure out what can I use. What do you have it bind to a keyboard or to an actual button?
I have the Bravo, so I have the thrust reverser levers.
Yeah, okay.
Let me look while you guys are doing that. I'll look and see if there's a keyboard command.
Okay.
Probably not, but
Yeah, because there's no default keyboard command. Because I've got nothing for it.
okay. Let's see if there's one we could no.
No, I use cap lock D and E, but I'll eventually just get
Let's see if it works.
Yeah, I'll eventually get down to the
Throttle.
Stream Deck. Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Mountain, did you come back to West Coast?
I'm just hanging out right now.
Oh, okay.
No wonder there's no tow, because there's a bunch of boxes and stuff in the back. It's just like No wonder.
That's weird that there would be no. Oh,
Yeah,
no
so
toe there.
I,
What's your red stuff saying there? Those red
the
messages.
oil pressure.
Mountain. That's your. Can you help me? He's got low oil pressure, which means we probably missed something in my scattered checklist.
Is it even backing up? Yeah.
Did you release parking brakes? Wait a second. Your engines are off.
Yeah.
Again. Hey, Brandon?
Guys, he's got to restart the engines. I got to take this phone call. It's work.
Okay.
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 All right. Let's restart the engines. Let's just go through, if I can look at your top panel again, just to make sure we got
Okay.
fuel pump on. Hydraulics are on. Okay, I don't know why they would have turned off, maybe when we were pressing buttons or something.
Yeah.
So let's try that right start, and then once it gets up to 20% N2, you can move that right throttle to idle. It must have been something that we were doing there with the...
Yeah. I have no clue.
You can click on those Yoke pilots, Yoke and co-pilot. They drop down if they're in your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Kind of gives you a better view. This is sometimes a tough plane to look around and.
Okay.
There you go. Your N1's coming up. That's good.
Hey, James.
And as you're spooling up, you see warnings disappear.
Yeah, the warnings.
Which is good.
And
So
it's,
I think we're good to start the next engine.
yeah, it's about to
In the interest of
stabilize.
moving this video on,
Yeah.
we might just have to have you slew back a little bit.
Well, yeah, because I think Golem's like,
Yeah.
how's the flight going? Yeah, we're still on the ground.
This is nothing. The first time we flew this plane, it took like 2 hours to get it. It's just very intricate.
But like I said, I was like with Tolstoy in the 787, and we spent but we weren't doing it this quick. Like we were doing like all the checklists, but he was
Yes.
he was doing it the way he would do it, and then I was following the checklist, and he was like, "Whoa, man, that's a lot more." Like, because when you're doing it in real life, you're doing flows. It's
You might want to bring that left throttle up to idle.
yeah. I don't need to. There we go.
I didn't know that. I learned too. Yeah, so if anybody's watching and they think this plane is too complicated, the beauty of it is you can go over to that EFB and you can just click ready to taxi and you're pretty much good
Yeah.
to go, with the exception of a few switches.
All right, and then
It's up to you, but I would suggest that maybe you just try to slew back as slowly as you can.
what I'll do is it's just about to stabilize, and I'll try it, and then if it doesn't work, well then I can go.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Look at you. Wow, that thing, I've never done that. That's a good reverse thrust.
All right. I do my own pushback
So, yeah.
when I go to the airport. All right.
So one thing that we didn't do yet is if you go on the center panel,
Okay.
let's turn on your flight director under the course knob,
Yep.
and our cruising altitude was 36,000 feet, and let's just go ahead and dial that into the altitude.
Yeah. But where
I need
do,
to do that.
Yeah. Where does the number show up? Because I was.
It's in magenta. So if you're looking to the right, you can see it on the first officer's far right screen. Or you can zoom out. It's like I said, there's some awkward angles in this, or you can click out by pressing right alt and clicking on the screen while you're doing it. You know what I mean? If you look at my screen, you can you can open these into their own little windows while you're adjusting stuff.
Okay. But the but yeah, the alt isn't moving on the magenta. Or is it? Because I don't see it moving.
Okay, let me look at your screen. So, can you press your right alt key next to your spacebar and then use your mouse to click on that far right while you're holding alt? Click on that far right screen, and it should pop out into its own window. I may not, there's probably other ways to do it, but that's...
Okay,
It's right alt and click.
Oh yeah, because yeah, I am seeing... It's because it looks like it's still 10,000, but when you actually bring it into a different window, yeah, I can see 18,000.
Or you could move just your whole view slightly to the left, and you could see it on the pilot's one too. But
yeah, we're going to
alt click is a good trick.
We're going to flight level 360.
Correct.
Okay, good.
All right. And then what we're going to do is test takeoff configuration. Now, they had to do a workaround. So if you look at your course, at the same panel, the course one, that first knob closest to you, there's two screws up and down of each other. Click that top screw, and that is a toga mode, takeoff mode. There's a screw just to the left of that course knob. There's two screws. It's the top screw.
Okay, top.
They made it into a button. Yeah, it's not. It's like a fake hidden button.
Okay. Okay, because then I've got TOTO.
And they don't have lines through them, correct? That means your plane is configured
Okay.
properly for takeoff. So now we could taxi over to runway 28, right?
Okay.
And what that will do when it's in takeoff mode is it will give you flight guidance as you're taking off. The flight director will direct you until the point where you could turn on your autopilot,
Okay.
which can be pretty soon after you take off. And we're gonna taxi.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna.
I'll meet you there.
Okay. I'm gonna get ATC.
Go for it.
Clearance.
San Francisco Airport information. 360 San Francisco Airport, 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 360 San Francisco Air
because it's giving me all these request taxis to different directions, but not to. Should I just do depart north?
No, I wouldn't even mess with it. I would just manually,
Just
just go.
for
It may
it.
not be the most realistic, but
Yeah,
we're really here to kind of test out the aircraft.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, tactical gamer. Am I streaming on Twitch? No, this is YouTube. Nice way to answer that.
Yeah, maybe. I thought for a while you could be streaming on both at the same time until I learned that that's not allowed.
Yeah, you can't do the Twitch. It's because I don't know where I'm going here.
So if you use maybe your VFR map,
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah, fine, man.
if I could see you, I don't see you because there's so many people here.
I look at your screen. I see a pile of people. Okay, I see where
Cleared across. These are not the runways I'm going to, but I got a shortcut. They say if you watch the videos, there's a great series of YouTube videos from Aerosoft on all the phases of flight. But when you're taxiing, you try to never go above 40% N1.
okay.
That's the rule of thumb. And then this plane kind of moves on its own once you get it going. But when you turn, it slows down. One thing that we may have forgotten, let me look at your screen. Hold on. If you see that little clock down there to your lower left, like in an air conditioning vent?
Yeah.
It's right below that, or right to the left of that. See your nose wheel steering right there? I forgot that. You click that up. See where it says no N/W steering? Go ahead and click that up to armed. It makes it easier to steer the plane on the ground.
Okay.
And it's the top left of your screen.
Oh,
NW steering.
okay.
There you go. Sorry about that. That was
Yeah.
something.
No problem.
It just makes it.
I think we're gonna go left here.
What's your weather like up there today?
Yeah. It was like sun and clouds. But when I took off from the airport, it was like I was going into a rain cloud. So I was like,
Huh.
what? Didn't make any sense to me. What is it runway 1 or 7?
28 right.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm
That's
going
what
the
we
other
put
way.
in the McDo.
Yeah.
And that's really what they're using at San Francisco today, although it's kind of rare because usually they're using the 1 runways and the 2.8 runways to take off. But I was looking at the real world ATIS, and
because I didn't.
something about the ones right now that doesn't allow the takeoffs on the ones.
Yeah, because I didn't realize. Like I couldn't remember which runway. So I was like, oh well, I'm taxiing. Okay, yeah, this is the runway.
Yeah. It's kind of a journey to get out here.
Yeah. All right. Telling myself I'm clear.
Cool.
Oh, okay. I see your. I think we'll end up like smashing into each other.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna wait out here and let you get on the runway first.
Okay.
And one thing that we forgot to do is to dial in the runway heading into our heading. So you get up here, you can just put on the parking brake, get your landing lights and strobes ready or on.
Oh, that.
Again, this is just like a tutorial, so we
Yeah.
don't have to follow every real world procedure.
That's right. The.
We'll get better and better.
Alt. No. Okay. Heading.
Basically, you have every light on. At least I do. And then the runway heading is standby. Yet. Runway heading is 284.
284. Okay.
It's just a good idea in case something goes wrong.
All right.
So when you take this plane off, you'll get set, and then you're gonna want to advance your throttles, like they say, slowly up to about 50%, and then bring it up until you'll see toga will pop up on your PFD. However, that is a setting, so you want to make sure it's set in your EFB under options. I think it would be a good idea. It's quick.
Okay.
Francisco ground, United 20.
Options.
Right, options, and then see on the right column on the first page, it says throttle detent hint, the second one down, and make
Yeah.
sure that's on show.
Show. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so when you get on the runway, you're gonna bring it up to toga after you get to 50%, and it will manage the thrust. And then when you lift off, you're just going to want to follow the flight director, try to keep the bus centered. I don't know how much you know about this, so stop me if you know all this. And then once you're kind of following that, you're going to want to hit autopilot and nav. In fact, you could actually arm nav right now. Nav, you can press nav and speed. They're not, the autopilot isn't on yet. And then once you get in the air, you can engage your autopilot and it will start flying the course. And then, do you know about this speed control, Sizzling?
Nope.
Okay. Basically, it's a speed control, but it's not an auto throttle. So you're gonna leave your throttle in toga until you're like 1,000 feet. And you'll bring your throttle back to climb, and you want to do speed control and set it at 240 knots. You can't pre-select it though, so it's got to be when you're about 200 knots. You I'll tell you what, if I can, take off the speed control for now.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna
have
watch
it on.
you. I'm gonna watch you take off, and I'll try to walk you through this.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm
You already took off.
Yeah, I'm up in the air.
Okay, good. And your autopilot's on,
Nope. I'll put the autopilot on.
and your nav.
Auto,
And then you got to watch your speed. So you're going to want to bring your flaps up, and your gear's already up. I think, yeah.
yeah, gears up.
So you'll see how fast this plane accelerates. So right about now, I would hit the speed button. Okay, now I would dial it up to 240. See how it says climb at 213? We want to set it to 240.
Okay.
And then you can bring your throttle back until you see climb, or put it in a climb detent instead of takeoff if it's not, yeah, there you go. So now it'll pretty much manage itself up to 36,000 feet. This is one of the easier parts of flying the CRJ.
Yeah, well, because I also know under 10,000, you can't go over 250. 250 knots, or is it 200?
Yeah, 250.
250. Oh, we're not even going over 250 anyways.
Right, and this is a good climb speed all the way up. You'll see it'll switch to Mach, and it ends up being about 0.77, I think, 77.
Okay.
And when you're in thinner air.
Simfly Russia, no, we're not two pilots in the one plane, but is coaching me through. Well, because,
Definitely an amateur.
yeah, well, because they hear like the two of us talking, but only one plane, so they think,
Right. I'm your highly paid consultant.
yeah, highly paid consultant. Yeah, free T-shirt. Let's see. And that tactical gamer guy is like, "Are you streaming on Twitch or no?" I'm like, "No, this is YouTube. Bye, have fun." It's like, okay, LOL. And I meant you could stream on Twitch, LOL. I honestly love it, but yes, they don't allow multiple streams. Like, what? What are you here watching me for? Go back on Twitch. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, it must be like a young kid or something, because like, yes, but there was like, really, okay, I'm on YouTube. So is this accurate? All the clouds in the right spot?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I'm not I'm about 15 miles east of here, and
Yeah.
there's hills in the way. So, but yeah, the fog is probably rolling in from the ocean
Yeah.
over the Golden Gate.
Oh yeah, because that is the Golden Gate right now that I can see on my left side.
You'll probably, if you enjoy this plane, you'll probably want to check out some of these videos.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one Filbert flies that I highly recommend to everybody.
Because
Very good.
Because I did watch one of his, but it was just a beginning. But he was saying, okay, I really don't know much about this plane, and let's pretend I know nothing about it. And he had a CRJ pilot actually sit down to walk him through.
That I watched, and it's a long one, and I took notes because it was good, but it's time consuming
Yeah.
to do that. I'm gonna fly along here, but if I'm mostly gonna focus on your flight if I gotta exit out of mine. How are you doing are you on course?
Yeah, so I'm on course to some, like, but I'm not on the magenta line on the VFR map.
That's okay.
And
Because I think the VFR map it's just going straight to Vancouver, I think.
Yeah,
But if you look on your MFD, you're good.
Yeah, because I think what it is it's what I put in the world, like, to get into here.
Oh, okay. I just put in the departure airport, and I didn't put in anything for the arrival. That system doesn't play well with the CRJ.
Yeah, because this is like a GPS direct line to Vancouver. But yeah, so it's on course with what we put in the MFD or McDo or whatever you call it.
Yeah. So the next phase, you got some time, but when we level off, at that point, you just have to control your throttle so you don't overspeed. So you'll bring it back to manual, and then you gotta watch it with the winds because it will overspeed on you.
Okay.
And then the hard part starts, the descent. The descent is a challenge.
At that point, you're mountain, where are you?
Yes, and I'm really not an expert on it. I'm going to do my best. But it's basically just following that flight director using the vertical speed down dial. And there's, I'll show you when you get there, but there's some visual cues that you can use on the MFD and PFD. But other than that, it doesn't have a true working VNav. That said, you can go into the options and you can turn on coupled VNav. And this plane really doesn't have that in real life, but they built it in here. And it's rudimentary, but it does kind of descend you from one altitude to another.
Yeah, and the things, were you going to tell me about the hockey stick?
So there's no hockey sticks here, but it'll give you that, see that magenta banana, they call it? That's where it's saying you're going to get to your top of climb right now.
Okay.
That line there. And it will give you a top of descent. So right now it's calculating that your top of descent isn't for 1 hour and 24 minutes.
Okay.
So that'll speed up though, because our airspeed will speed up once we level off.
Okay, well,
You're looking down at beautiful Lake Berryessa, California. A lot of people from the Bay Area go up there and do motorboating. It's actually a little in front of you, like you're 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a reservoir. And then to your right, out the right of the plane, would be Sacramento.
Okay.
area in UC Davis.
Yeah, well, my old coworker, he was on the board for on the I think he was the president of like MS or something, some board for some kind of illness, and to raise funds, what he did was he took like 6 months sabbatical from work, and he went all the way down to the bottom, down in like at the bottom of California, and he did the trail. He hiked all the way up to Washington.
Huh. That's awesome.
I was
The
like,
Pacific Crest Trail.
yeah, he did it. He did the whole thing. It took him
Cool.
like 5.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was times where he had like he said like people on the trail, they will actually they're very welcoming to these hikers. So at one point, like he had like blisters on his feet and stuff. He stayed with like some woman for a couple of days to rest up, and then went back on out to like other places to they'll give you some food and stuff like that. Like because they know that you're on your way, and you might run out or something. But
Right.
yeah, he had some great stories.
Yeah, I have friends who did that too. It was amazing that they completed it.
Ah, okay. So I'm in the HPA, so I have to go into the options, change that to.
You can change that. You can change that by clicking on your barometer button,
But-
which is below your yoke. If you click your yoke, it'll go away.
Click on the.
You can do that. You can do that too. You can click on inches. Thought we did that already.
Yeah, well, I thought I did.
Okay, but you can change it in the plane too. So your barometer is on that left diagonal panel. Your altimeter setting. No, not on the EFB. On the dials to the right of it. It's kind of hidden behind your yoke right now. The left side of your yoke.
Okay.
So click there. Where you set standard. Click the yoke, please. So it goes down. Okay, and then it's right there, right where your mouse was on the bottom right of those dials there.
Yeah,
Lock barrel.
Yeah, because it's staying in the.
You switched it.
Yeah, but it's staying in HPA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Unless I have to.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. Oh, on mine it's now in inches. It's because the co-pilot's in HPA, and I'm in inches. So I'll.
Right, and in the CRJ, both his stuff and your stuff are totally separate. I mean, so you want to click the center button right now in the barometer dial, and to do that, you need to back over at the barometer thing where you set the barometer. We were just looking at it.
Yep.
Just click the middle of it. So inside the knob, the center of the knob. First, you have to right click in the center of the knob.
Okay.
And then left click. No, not there. To the right. Barrow.
Yeah,
The knob under the word barrow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm watching the wrong stream. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Watch
And-
his own stream.
Yeah. Well, I was watching his YouTube, but there's like a 5-second delay, so I didn't realize.
Yeah. So I clicked it. I saw it press in.
Okay. So you're climbing through 34 already? Is that right? Or
Yeah.
24?
35.
Okay. So soon you're gonna level off, and that's when you need to be ready to just kind of watch your throttle.
Okay. Because it did the a little warning to tell me I'm getting close to the third flight level 360.
Mm-hmm. If you want to look at something, you can go back to the MFD menu, which is on your McDo.
Yep.
Second column from the left bottom, and you can change what shows up on your MFD. You can see nav aids, airports, your ETA to the next waypoint.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and then kind of an advanced thing. Let's say you want to know when you're 20 miles from a nav aid, like the ILS or something. If you press that fix button, which is above MFD menu by 2,
Yep.
and you can go in there and you can put in a nav aid on the top left. So let's just put in PAE, for example, and then paste it up into that.
On the
Yeah, top left, we'll paste it under ref. Okay.
yeah.
And then see, you could do like distance crossing. So you can type in 25.0 and then paste it under on the third left side key. And what that'll do is it'll draw a dashed line in a circle around that VOR. And you can, it will show up when you get close to pane, and you'll know exactly when you're 25 miles. It's just kind of a visual reminder for pilots when they want to be preparing for something. And it's got more sophisticated uses. Obviously, I don't even know what the crossings are on the other side.
Yeah, lateral and longitude crossing. So that would be like if
Right.
like the 45th parallel, I wanted something, I could probably put that in.
And at the bottom, it's showing you your distance, what time it thinks you're going to be there, and how much fuel you'll have when you get there.
Okay. That's on the fix.
Yep. And again, it's just an example for you. You can set up multiple ones, so you can have two of those crossing, and that can be like an intersection. We're getting beyond my skill level, but if you also go down, I'm just showing you some of the features here. If you go down on your McDo and you do direct intercept, which is the second row top key.
Yep.
It shows you all the waypoints, and when you're descending, it can be a resource because you see those little numbers with arrows below. That'll be like, that's the vertical sync rate that you need to have to get to the next waypoint at the right altitude.
Okay.
And then you'll match it up using the vertical speed indicator over on your PFD. There'll be a little blue ball that will appear there too, that you try to keep that green needle in as you're descending.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of manual. It's kind of old school for a jet.
And a while ago I was mentioning about the hockey sticks, and you said there's no hockey stick in this. It's a Bombardier. It's Canadian. It should have a hockey stick. An Airbus is European. They have hockey sticks.
Yeah, I feel similarly aggrieved as you. I like hockey sticks.
Yeah. Hockey sticks.
And make these in Montreal, or they used to.
Yeah, they used to. Now it's
When Mountain and I got the CRJ on the very first day, we went to that airport where they roll off the assembly line, and we went through that whole checklist. How long did it take us, Mountain? Like 3 hours? 4?
We sat on the ground for maybe like 4 or 5 hours just going through the entire.
We were so excited to get the CRJ. It was awesome.
Where you at, Mirabel?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's Mirabel is used to be the international airport, and then Dorval, which is now like Montreal, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, but and that's now the international. The other one is more so cargo.
Oh,
But I
never heard of that one.
Yeah, Mirabel would be it's a little northern from Montreal. Like it's still in the Montreal area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a place I'd love to go, Montreal.
Yeah. They well, because I remember picking up my uncle. He was coming in from Paris, and we picked him up at Mirabel. But now, if you're coming in from Paris, you'd fly right into Montreal, Trudeau. Hey, Trudeau.
I see.
And yeah, this is a lot nice. Like to see the name tags again. It's a lot nicer than on Southeast Asia, where there's like no one.
Yeah.
Well, like on the West Coast, yeah, but like East Coast or like East Coast of Canada, you're gonna be flying by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But it's just that like a lot of people they'll explore, but most of the time they fly regionally.
Right.
How far back are you, or you're not that
Pretty
far?
far back because I wasn't paying attention and I went off course. But I'm just trying to help you out, and it kind of helps me out to learn it too, to just watch airplane. It's not that big of a deal
Okay.
that I actually do this flight.
Well, and we learned how to get the reverse thrust on, because you can't click on it. But to put the reverse thrust back, you can then click on it to shut them off. But what I'm now doing with the gear quadrant is that just by moving it up, I can get it into the different detents.
Oh, good.
But yeah, and this doesn't have anything but detents, so
Yeah.
it's not because the Airbus.
It's a little bit of play between climb and idle.
Okay.
And which, like right now, I don't know, your throttle's still in climb, I believe.
Yeah.
You got to watch that red tape. It's working for you right now, but you'd probably want to drop it back out of climb.
Okay.
It's pilot's choice. Maybe Mountain has a comment on how it should be done.
So
If it's for the engines.
Once you get to your cruising altitude in the CRJ, you gotta take it out of climb.
Okay.
And,
So you just back it off a little.
And manually do the throttle, because when you're in climb, you're burning a lot more fuel rather than just manually doing it, because you're telling the airplane,
Okay.
hey, I need all this thrust power to
That's
get up to
too far
altitude.
back. That's too far back. So you'll see on your speed tape there's a little pink line below the arrow that's showing you how fast you're going to go down. And we want to be at about, what is it now? Mach point, I can't read it. 8.
6.8. I got,
oh, really?
I got 6.8. Because the
We have a headwind. Yeah, we want to keep it up to like in the 7s. You want to stay close to the red tape. It's just, you got to watch it because it'll quickly, if the wind shifts, you'll overspeed.
Okay. And yeah, so with the autopilot, with the speed, it doesn't really do anything once you're out of climb.
Correct. You can use it in, it's a vertical navigation mode, so it can be used when you're climbing or descending. It doesn't work in level flight.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
all it does is maintain an angle, and then you have to use the throttle when you're descending to keep it from overspeeding.
Okay.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt.
A mountain is very good at descending this plane in vertical speed mode,
Got to
which is a little bit challenging.
got to pay, and I heard the seatbelt signs off
There you go.
because I had it in auto. So it actually did the call, which
Yeah.
in my case, the other thing for the Airbus, the pushback and stuff, it wasn't worth it. And like for me at the time, I never did a review on it because it was just way too overwhelming. Just that product to put onto the Airbus, I was like, I don't know. Like it might be great for an Airbus pilot, but for someone just learning it, I'm like, nah.
You're gonna go over some good scenery here, like Crater Lake, and before that, Mount Shasta should be probably. It's after Red Bluff. If you look out the window,
Okay.
it's one of the tallest mountains in California and North America, continental United States. I think it's the third tallest in the continental United States.
So I went to the exterior view. I got
There you go.
American Eagle on.
Nice.
But so they were saying Air Canada, it's the 900 that Air Canada has.
Mountains aircraft expert.
Say that again, Susan?
Air Canada, they only have the 900.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no liveries for the 500, 700 for them. But someone put it on flightsim.to.
I thought they had some 200s, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The two that didn't come with this.
That's
first.
Yeah, you are right, because there's one that will come with it and one that will never come with it. But yeah, just like the top-down view from this high, and you can still see the ground and the unwound seal is on the ground. Maybe that's what we could do, Joe. Friday night community flight. It's always the CRJ. Every Friday night.
That would be. I don't know. That would be more grueling than my happy hour flights usually are.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Mount might be off your right. You might have already even passed it. And then Crater Lake is coming up. I don't know how well you know where you're at, so I'm giving you a little scenic tour.
Okay.
I think Shasta's right dead in front of your nose. think it's about 14,000 feet.
Oh yeah, I see something up ahead that's coming up out of the clouds.
Yeah, that's it. It's probably still got snow on it.
Yeah, snow on the top.
And then we're gonna see, you know, obviously Mount Hood and Crater Lake, and then not in that order. Crater Lake, Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, and Mount Rainier, and then Mount Baker, and then down into Vancouver. Kind of going right up the Cascades in Sierra Nevada.
I'm gonna
Be crossing into Oregon soon.
Yeah, because I must be having the headwind because
Yep.
Yeah,
You can see it on your MFD, what the current headwind is and what direction it's coming from. But yeah, you're bouncing around. Turbulent.
yeah. Because I'm still at 0.68 Mach.
Yep. If you zoom in there, see it below the CYVR. 45 from 292 degrees.
45. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. And you can see.
You could bump up your speed just slightly, or no? Is it going to go into climb if you do that?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll go
Okay.
into climb.
So that's the best she can do right now. Oh, you're actually at Mach 0.82. So the one in the right, in the white at the top, is your current speed. So the one down there is what you have your speed control set to.
Yes.
If you were descending. Yeah,
Okay.
I make that mistake too.
Yeah.
So you're moving along at a good rate.
Yeah.
And there's Shasta down there.
Wow. Yeah, the last night my flight plane towards the end went around a volcano. Like I when I was planning it, I could see that it was a volcano, so I planned to go around it. But then when I actually, because I didn't run through the plan beforehand, so there was some places that I veered off of course because I knew it'd just be faster to skip the waypoint and go right to the airport. But then I was in the mountains, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, let's go for a left here. And then I told there was only one guy following me, so then I was like, yeah, buddy, you're gonna have to pull up sooner than I did because I ended up touching the top. But because of that, I then like face planted the Husky, and then I had the low fuel pressure. After trying to slew, so I had to actually get out and restart the whole, replug myself in for the flight, so that. And that's weird. Like when it does that failure, the oil failure, even if you restart, it won't go away. You have to completely go out to world map and then come back in. That has to be a bug of some sort. Oh, it looks like the waves in the Pacific Ocean. Tsunami.
Yep, just out past those hills.
Yeah, the mountains.
Maybe it's kind of a long flight, but I thought the flight to LA would be too action-packed. Like we would already be deep into our descent.
Yeah. Yeah, because then
I suppose we could change it to Seattle. Or
Yeah.
I don't know how long you wanted to fly, but
Oh, if you got the time, might as well just keep it
Yeah.
as is.
I'm good. We're almost halfway, I think.
Yeah.
Getting close to that.
And then,
Get you back to Canada.
yeah, send me back to Canada. And then what I can do is, rather than watch all those other videos, I just watch this video over and over again.
I don't know.
Click the ads.
I mean, you're going off my handwritten notes that I've taken from videos, so
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take some handwritten notes.
yeah.
Handwritten notes
That
on
Filbert one is really good.
handwritten notes on an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Because
There you go.
Because a few months ago, I told my wife, I'm like, I said, the old iPad, well, you can't download anything on it anymore. You can't even watch Disney Plus on it. Not for me, but for my son. But so then I said, I need an iPad. But then once I got the iPad, and I said, like, I can use it while I'm having like client meetings and actually write on there rather than writing on paper. Because I would write on paper, those papers are all over the place, they get lost. Now
Right.
you write on the iPad, and then I can even search my own handwriting in there. I'm like, well, this is perfect.
Yep. Andy.
Yeah. But on the topic of Disney, so this week, because my son always says cars, and then once you get onto Disney Plus, then he sees the profiles and he's like Mickey, but ours is Daisy, but my brother is Mickey, but he always wants Mickey, but he doesn't know. He thinks we're pressing Mickey, and then then after that, then he's like Woody or Home Alone. Okay, so then this week, well, my wife figured out that that Cars is him saying Disney because he associates Cars with the Disney Plus. So now we're trying to get him to say Disney. So when he says it, he says disease. But to him, disease is not Disney Plus. It ends up, he's like, oh, disease, and then he goes and he presses on it. It's Family Guy. He's saying it, and it's like,
Yeah.
and like, so then like tonight he's like, disease. So then I go and I put Family Guy on for him. He's like, you know, he's whining and stuff. So I'm like, what's the issue? So I go back out. I said, here, I grabbed him. I said, you point which one on the TV. Well, he points at a Simpsons. I'm like, all right, I get it. Disease is all those those adult cartoons. Disease.
Yeah.
And he'll just watch it. He obviously he doesn't understand, but he's just watching. I'm like, oh man.
Hey, something you might want to see that I forgot to show you is, and because I don't use it very much, but the plane has a heads-up display.
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
You can reach or look up, and you can click on it and pull it down in front of you. Just for people who are watching who may not be aware of that. And you can set it for different things. The control for it's on the center pedestal, so you can set it up for approaches or.
Okay.
It's more helpful at night than it is in the daytime, but
Yeah.
kind of gives you that heads up, and that little bird down there is kind of showing you where you should be headed if you were flying by hand.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's what I gotta do. my barometer. No, it's still at 29.92. Oh yeah, because after what?
It's in standard.
Yeah, in standard, yeah.
And you have a standby barometer that's on the front panel, or a standby thing right there. And you have to manually change that one. It might still be on, it looks like it's on 29.92 as well,
Okay.
but they're independent. Trying to think of other features.
You know what this, oh, it's the brightness, but there's a manual and auto.
So I don't know what that is actually. It might be that it comes down during approach and landing automatically. I'm not sure. Never seen that actually. Never noticed it.
Yeah.
But I know that the controls for it are down in the center pedestal on the right column. That green writing, right there, you can do different things, and I have not explored that to any great degree. But you can put in different parameters to help you if you're a professional pilot.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because I see there's like 10 different documentations for this.
Yep.
I can read it at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than reading that, I should be reading accounting stuff.
Yeah. If you want to, you can also go through the different engine pages, which are all modeled. They're the buttons on the center pedestal that will show you your different systems. They're in the center of the column, and you'll see there's stat, ECS. You can click on those and see different information about your hydraulics and your flight control surfaces in real time.
Okay.
That they use in real life to monitor the plane and make sure everything's good. And it'll change your displays up there.
Okay.
Yeah, just for future, in case somebody's out there watching, thinking about getting the plane. It really does a good job with that stuff. Everything is modeled.
Okay.
I found a whole section of the McDo today that I never knew about. Like, I'm still learning about the plane. You really can take a deep dive.
Well, the thing is like an actual pilot, they have to go through like months and months of training. So
yeah, see that orange thing on your PFD?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, and I've never seen it before. DCP2. I don't know what that is. So it launches you on a whole other research topic.
Yeah. It means I'm gonna crash when I land.
It might.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mountain can see the screen right now, but if he can, have you ever seen that? I've never seen even that color of writing.
Oh.
It's in the ground, so the brown part. So
DCP, digital. What could that? I'm gonna Google that.
yeah, because it's in the brown part, it must not be good. But if it was bad, I would get a warning. Hopefully.
It indicates that a selected display control panel has failed. Do you have real-time failures turned on in your sim?
No.
Wow.
CP2. And where would you go to change your range?
Over by the barometer. on that thing. See the inner knob at the top center controls your range. Push and
Okay.
you dial it, and you can also the thicker ring at the bottom changes the format of your display. And when you're doing the ILS approach, you'll want to change it to localizer, and it changes your MFD for different modes. You can cycle through them right now if you care to.
Yeah, it's
It just changes the way the info is presented on that right screen. I don't know why your barometer keeps doing that.
the barometer keeps
Keeps
doing.
flashing. Your 29.92 keeps flashing every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a new one. So we can see over on the MFD that you're about 42 minutes from your top of descent. 41 minutes now.
Yeah.
42, depending on the
42.
wind.
But yeah, the range didn't change anything. Do I have to press any?
Oh,
of
really?
Yeah.
No, no, it should just spin. If you spin it clockwise, it should be. Maybe that's what the DCP2. That is probably DCP2. Has failed. I've never seen that before,
Yeah, and again.
and I don't know why. And yeah, we're beyond my knowledge. Definitely a hobbyist.
Yeah. Susie Bacat.
That's weird.
Bad hoot. Alright, let's go outside. Ah, Joe.
Yep, I
You're
caught up
gangster.
a little bit.
You're close to gangster Gramps.
Yeah, they're in the the CJ4s. Great plane, also much easier, much easier than this plane, but awesome. And it has full. It will land you if you have the working title mod.
Okay. Because I've got the longitude. I like the longitude. Well, because that one, the that's CJ4.
Yeah,
CJ4. I find it looks like an older plane, like from Flight Simulator X or something.
yeah.
Like
Do you have that working title mod? I think you do. We've talked about it.
not for the.
Modification.
I don't think for the CJ4.
If you look at my screen right now, I know the viewers can't see it, but there's Crater Lake right below me.
Yeah. I can see that.
Big vacation spot in Southern Oregon.
Wow. And there's like an island
Yep,
in the middle of that.
like a cone.
Yeah. Yeah, so
If you look at that side of the CRJ, it is so beautiful. Like you can zoom way in. They spared no expense. It just looks awesome.
Oh, the CRJ, yeah. CRJ.
This plane.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the CJ4.
Yeah,
I was
I
getting
was
all,
jumping around topics.
yeah, I was getting confused. But yeah, so you've just flown over, but I've been able to see the Crater Lake.
Awesome.
Ooh, like just above me. It's almost like someone's contrails. Yes. ASA 295.
Alaska
Contrails.
295. Yep.
Like massive
That's
contrail.
real time. That's a real, you know, from FlightAware or Flight Radar 24. I think they're getting their data.
Yeah.
Whatever. That looks so cool.
So if I actually flew in that, wouldn't I get like more turbulence?
I don't know if they have that modeled, but in real life, yes. You jet wash.
Yeah. Well, it's like a Cessna going to take off after like a 747 just landed right in front of them.
Right.
You gotta wait
Gonna
like
be
5 minutes or
late.
something.
The sim is just so beautiful. How, after the update, how did it affect you? Did your frame rates go up?
Frame
Was it look
rates.
better to you?
Yeah, the frame rates went up. I went up to ultra, but then hotfix 1 started the CTDs, and hotfix 2 just increased that.
Oh no.
So it's like, if they didn't fix it, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But like on the last weekend, they having those CTDs, and then after that, nothing. And I had gone down from ultra down to high end. But since that flight, I've had several CTDs, even at high end. So I can go back up to ultra, and I wouldn't have an issue.
Cool.
Altitude cap. Yeah, it's pretty windy.
Yep. Soon you'll be flying over Portland. Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And then we'll be crossing into Washington State.
the thing is, I'm not used to these high winds, because the high
Yeah.
winds are up higher.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is the first time I've flown with you a lot. First time I've seen you in a jet.
Yeah.
And this is a tough one to learn, so if you can do this one,
Yeah, I'd rather this than the A320.
mm-hmm.
Although the A320's got some features that I like, and A320 can go further.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just like so skeptical with the Asobo versions, because
Oh yeah.
I've like just like, you're on autopilot, you hit like a waypoint. What was that? You hit a waypoint, and then there's like, all of a sudden you're going around in a circle.
Yeah. The fly-by-wire is a must. Even that is still, it still has issues, but they're working on it. It's all volunteers,
Yeah, and
and it's getting closer and closer.
and the Phoenix, they're doing a payware. It's like,
Oh
Okay,
yeah, that's
like-
gonna be incredible.
yeah,
Can't wait.
like hydraulics and stuff. Like, I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it seems like we're going into the nitty gritties when they start talking about hydraulics and all this stuff.
Yep.
But it's
That's why you need mountain.
Being a mechanic, I am so excited for that Phoenix. Because having them model all the shutting off the hydraulic system and seeing the reduction of actually seeing how like the reduction of the flight controls, and like if you turn off a hydraulic system, it reduces obviously the input and the output for the hydraulic system, and seeing them actually flying that and seeing how slow the controls actually react to being down, let's say a hydraulic, you know, but there's so many failures. There's like over, I think 300 failures they said that are coming with that. I'm so excited for it.
And I bet they'll have an easy mode though, you know, like you can dial that in. How realistic do you want it to be?
Yeah.
But it's going to be amazing.
Easy mode, just go fly by wire. Even then.
Well, the thing right now is they are, I think you have to like physically go in and do the failures because of the way that Microsoft is right now. The SDK for Microsoft isn't really allowing these developers to initiate random failures. So, you know, they have to go in and you're gonna have to like physically, I think, initiate a failure. It's not like X-Plane or P3D where it can happen randomly, you know, if you have failures going on.
Yeah, because I know, X-Plane, definitely there was some random stuff. More so random on the takeoff, not on the descent. Because I never really descended. I'd always crash.
I don't know if you remember, but you were saying like on your cross-country flight, 32 hours.
Yeah.
Right before I had to go to bed, you were dreaming, and I'm like, hey, you should go back and watch that. You were like, you would just say stuff like, and I would look at your screen and your head was down. You were kind of talking. It was fun. I had a great time, but you said you were nodding off after, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't remember. He was nodding off when I was still there. It was a long day. I can't believe you did it. I went to bed and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to wake up in the morning and you were going to be still flying. And I did, and you were like in a great mood and having a great time.
Yeah, well, because like when you said you're off to bed, well, because it was what, like 2 or 3 your time, so like it was like getting to like 5-6 a.m. my time, and I'm like, oh shit, like he's leaving. I got nobody, and then like there's nobody in chat. Like there's people watching, but nobody in chat, and I'm like, oh man, like I really want to go to bed, and then. But then it was like maybe an hour or two later, then Colin got on, and he says, feeling tired. I'm like, I just need someone to like do a super chat or a subscribe or something. I need that music motivates me. So he's like, oh yeah, here you go, boom. And I was like, whoa, yeah. But then it was I had gone to the washroom once I left. Like just before leaving Clinton, Oklahoma, and I got in the air, and then I was like, I gotta go, and I've gotta go. So then I just parked it in a field, and then everyone's like, why are you parked in a field? Like that's not an airport. I'm like, I gotta go, and I can't just do it in the air, you know. So then, but then like shortly after taking off again, I'm like, okay, now the coffee is really like kicking in. Like, I really gotta go. So I like trimmed it out, ran to the washroom, came back. We're still in flight. It was just starting to drift off a bit, but at that point, I was energized again, and I was good for about like an hour, and then I started to like slow down into like the head bobbing. I was like, oh man.
Yep.
And like to watch the replay might be available like next month or something. Because a lot of times, like when people do like a 24-hour stream, they'll break it up into 6-hour segments because it takes less time for YouTube to compress that. So just with a 32.5-hour flight video, I don't think it'll ever release as a video on demand. Unless, I haven't checked, it could actually be there, but every time I go check, it always says stream not available.
Yep. Mountain also has a Twitch stream, but it's going to go on hiatus for a month. But when he comes back, you got to check it out.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
Flight simulator or mechanic simulator?
Well, it's kind of like Ask a Mechanic, you know?
Yeah.
Like people can ask questions about this stuff.
Nice.
Like one of the cool things that I don't really know how to use is this. If you look down at the bottom of your center panel, there's this thing called ADG. If you have an engine failure, or I don't know exactly when you would need to use it, but if you pull that thing, a little propeller comes out of the fuselage in the front of your aircraft, and if you're up high and you drop your nose down, it starts spinning fast enough that you can try to restart. You can start your APU, and then I think this is how it works, and then you can, from that, try to restart your engine.
Wow.
So,
the
ADG is a, oh shoot, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
The ADG drops when you have no APU and no electrical power coming from the engines. It's a ram air turbine, and what it does is it generates your basic electric power.
Okay.
So it gives you
Navigating
very
and stuff.
basic minimum controls for so you can still fly the plane. So the pilot still has some control, but the ram air turbine, it's not hydraulically driven, it's air driven. So whatever speed you're going at, that's how fast the ram air
Generator.
turbine will
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
So-
it's pretty neat. It's like like an emergency landing thing, but
So business class are like, hey, you better put the nose down a little further. I need my movie and I need my internet to do business.
yeah.
So with that, it cuts all power. The plane will be dark. The only basic power that'll be inside the airplane will be just for the captain's side, flight controls. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty
Did
cool.
Toilets still work? That's
No.
just
What?
No,
Oh.
no toilets, no like nothing electronic, because it's a very small generator that's generating very minimum power to the flight controls
yeah.
and all that.
And it's pretty much to get to emergency stop. Like
Yeah, it's basically to get you down to the closest airport as soon as possible.
If you want to try it, I just did. It didn't seem to hurt anything.
what was that?
Once you deploy it, you can't get it back in until you're on the ground.
Oh, I can hear it. Yeah. Well,
Is
if you want to look at mine, I already deployed mine. I'll show you my screen and what it looks like on the outside.
Yeah,
It
because
pops out here
I saw that.
like a little.
It's a
Little
little
wind-
fan.
Yep.
Wow.
But it's cool that they built that in Aerosoft. Like,
Yeah.
attention to detail is amazing. I didn't know I couldn't pull it back in, but I'm probably not going to finish. I'm going to focus on trying to get you down.
I got her open.
You did?
Yeah.
It won't hurt anything, right, Mountain? I mean, as long as he's still got power.
Yeah, it should be fine.
I didn't know you couldn't retract it. Hey, I need to take a 5-minute break.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
I'll be right back. All right. Be back.
Ooh. Just going over Portland. Oh, 21 minutes again.
I'm back. What's up, Namesicles?
Hey, Namesicle.
love this.
Still there?
I'm here. Sorry, we're coordinating a dinner order right now.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
I think Name School's probably trying to get his mic working or something.
Yep. Be back in 1 minute.
Yeah, same.
With here's a little tidbit with these bigger airliners too. There's always a fail-safe. So even if, like you say, you were to lose power and you get your air turbine ram going, and it's generating minimum power.
Mm-hmm.
If you look right next to it, I think it's the landing gear. There's a release, emergency release for the landing gear that'll gravity, that once you pull that lever, it'll make the landing gear fall, but it's all by gravity.
Okay.
So these bigger airlines they have so many redundancies in them, just in case of like emergency failures and all that.
Yeah, so you're not SOL. There's always a backup plan. I wonder if they. I'm not gonna try it here, but I wonder. It looks like they've modeled it because you can actually click on it, but
Yeah,
I don't.
They've modeled it.
Oh man! Wow.
They've modeled pretty much everything inside this flight deck.
Yeah. So wow. Because up to now, like, I would say they modeled a lot of things that a lot of the other like airliner jets haven't been able to do yet. Like a Sobo's not going to that extent.
The reason why the PMDG 737 for Microsoft is taking such a long time is because, like, Aerosoft hasn't modeled all the circuit breakers, but with the PMDG 737, the circuit breakers will be modeled. So if you have a failure, you can go turn around and look at the circuit breaker panel and pull circuit breakers to try to reset the system.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna have to step off again to order some food, but
Yeah.
how long until your top of descent?
Top of descent's about 16 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, all those planes up there are around Seattle, so we're getting close to Seattle, and it's just north of Seattle that we start our descent into Vancouver.
Yep.
Okay. I'll be back in a second. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. So would you call this a study level down?
Yes and no. For a pilot, yes, you know, but it all depends on like how in depth you like want to go with these airplanes. Like,
Yeah.
Aerosoft did a fantastic job with this CRJ. They're a little slow with their updates and their releases, but this is a good first airliner that got introduced into Microsoft.
Yeah. Cause to me, I don't think the 747, the A320, and the 787. I
can't fly those.
Yeah, well, a Sobo, they're not really maintaining that. Like, they might change a few things, but they're not going to be actively continuing to improve it really, other than bugs.
What it basically is, and like it kind of stinks, is the fact that they basically wanted to give us just a model of a 787 and just like the model of like a 747 and like all that. So they just
Yeah.
wanted to have the look of a 787 in the sim and have the look of a 747 in the sim, which is great, but it would have been good for that to come out on the Xbox side of things. But the PC side of things, I feel like we should have got a little more bang for our buck
Yeah.
for getting the premium editions, because sitting in a 747 or a 787, a Sobo, you can only click a certain amount of things, you know, and if you don't do a flight plan from the world map, you know, then you can't really put in a flight plan in correctly and like when you're sitting in the plane.
Yeah, and I know the flight plan on the world map is a pain. Like
It is, and I applaud Microsoft and Asobo for giving us this beautiful sim.
yeah,
And they've done fantastic with it so far. But the only way to really get the hardcore simmers over and like get them to leave P3D, you know, it's gonna have to take the PMDG and the bigger name guys to come over with the airliners, you know.
yeah.
I don't know if you have the Just Flight Piper Arrow, but that Just Flight Piper Arrow, that is another really good general aviation airplane.
Because I've got the, I think I haven't flown it yet, but Just Flight Arrow 3 and 4.
Yeah, so Just Flight came out with the Piper Arrow, and then they came out with the turbo version
Okay.
of it. That's another really good airplane to fly GA. It's probably one of the best GA airplanes to fly in the sim.
Okay. Yeah, because like I looked at it and I was like, it looks like a less polished than some of the other stuff I've seen. Like but at the same time, it's probably also like an older model, because it reminds me of like you know, like from the 70s, 80s, and like people like smoking the plane or something. Like that's what it looked like. Aesthetically,
So,
it looks like that.
I believe Just Flight modeled their Piper Arrow after a real life Piper Arrow.
Okay.
I think they modeled it after a real life tail number. So it looks a little bit older and all that, but I do believe they did model it after a real tail number.
Okay.
And I mean, but see, like that's something else that like this sim could bring too, you know? It's like, it's cool to fly these new airplanes, brand new airplanes that look brand new all the time, but there needs to be some type of like age progression to where
Yeah.
the wear and tear on the airplane starts to show, and you know, and the engines are now like losing their performance stuff, you know, because I mean, there's so many different ways that this sim can go, because you can have your hardcore simmers, and then you can have the people on Xbox, and then you can just have people that want to load in to something and just fly around, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what's so awesome about flight sim, is there's so many different paths that like you can take. If you want to do the more study level airplane, there is going to be that option. And then if you just want to buy something cheap and just being able to like fly in and go, there's going to be that option, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's good about flight sim TO2, is people offer like these free aircraft and stuff like that, that if you want to just have the look of flying around a certain airplane, like people are starting to do models of certain airplanes, but the inside's not so good, you know. So
Yeah.
it's Microsoft is the future for a flight sim, but they still have to take their baby steps to get there, you know.
Yeah, it's not an overnight thing. Whoa, because like we see it just in the sim updates where, you know, you got a lot of stuff, you bring it out, but then it breaks other stuff. But if we're expecting everything to happen overnight, well, you would have a much bigger, like, you'd have to wait a couple of years for them to actually get things done. And even then, there would still be stuff. Because there's always something for someone to complain about.
And this is where, like, I feel like what they've produced, like, image-wise and real-world-wise, and, like, the views that, like, we got and, like, you know, all that, like, right out of the box, it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started having issues with the sim side of things. And, like, my issue with that is they started focusing more so on making the game look spectacular and not so much listening to, like, the community and saying, hey, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And, like, these companies and the SDK for these companies isn't still where it kind of needs to be. Like, there's stuff that they have to, like, backdoor to get stuff to work, you know? But Microsoft would be, and Asobo would be making a ton of more money and getting a lot more people interested in it if they focused on, like, the core issues, you know?
Yeah, well, because made a video on Thursday, and I said, you know, like, out of in a four-month span, I'd rather see one world update, one sim update, and maybe a smaller sim update, but that fourth month of just a break, like beta test, like. And I understand they're all different teams, but the thing is I don't think they're really beta testing this stuff much before it comes out. They're always in a rush.
And that's the thing about with these, like, these updates is they rush them out to get them out, and then they beta test them, or they test them for like a little bit, and then it releases, and then they run into a lot more issues than what they really thought, because what they're doing is, I think they're testing these offline.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then when they go and get it online, and then throw in the multiplayer aspect, and then, like, you know, all this and all that, that, like, that's where, like, the issues come in, you know?
Mhm.
It's like, it's easy to test something online, but once you put it online, it brings a whole nother aspect to it. And that's why so many people were having trouble with this SU5 update, and why so many CTDs and all that, because you would have to go in and, like, do this and, like, do that, and, you know. And I think they realized that they took a little bit of the performance away for the PC players when they released it to Xbox, because it wasn't like, when this SU5 update came out, I was running everything on Ultra, and to me, when they released it to the Xbox, it looked like a little bit grainy, like the quality of the picture wasn't good, and I was running everything on Ultra. But then those couple hot fixes, they said, oh yeah, we introduced this bug when we did the update, and then this bug was introduced when we did that update. So they're still working out the kinks, and they're doing a really good job of it, you know.
Yeah, like,
Hey,
I
I just want to point out that we're approaching the top of descent, so we got to start getting ready for that.
yeah.
If you zoom in on your I guess you don't have a range display, huh? It's not working, your range thing.
Yeah, range.
But you'll see your green top of descent.
Yes.
Maybe it's coming up. Oh, it's right after pain. Okay, we have a little more time.
Yeah, 6 minutes.
See that circle we drew? Remember when we drew that circle around pain?
Okay.
To tell us when we were 25 miles away? That's like a reminder, hey, I need to start getting my plane ready.
Okay. I'm just gonna go to washroom. I'll be right back here.
Perfect time.
Yeah.
How's your evening going, Mountain?
It's going pretty good.
Feel like you're going away to summer camp. It's so weird that he has that orange failure message on his PFD.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before.
I know. I didn't even realize it was modeled, and he said he has his sim failures off. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. So this descent, we should probably, I'm gonna look at it on Abigraph and figure out how we should, he's gonna have a discontinuity getting from the end of the star to the beginning of the ILS approach to 8 right.
Vector.
I'm gonna share my Volanta so you can, I mean my Navigraph on the, if you want to take a look. I don't know if you do. No, I guess, so we'll just dial him down to 11,000 and try to show him how to use the vertical speed
Yeah,
with the blue dot and snowflake.
yeah.
11,000 and then down to 3,000. Oh, that's weird. It's okay. At Vancouver, we need to be at 8,000. So maybe we just plug that in. I don't know. 11,000 first and then go to 8.
So, okay.
Okay, we're getting close to your.
Yeah, 9 minutes.
Okay.
I thought it.
So
I thought it was down to 6 minutes, and then it went up.
no, you're approaching it right now. If you can't zoom in on your thing, it never
No.
hurts to start. But the first thing we need to do is, so whatever altitude you have dialed in magenta,
Yep.
it's not going to go below that. So if you look at the charts, which I just did and Mountain just did, we want to dial your altitude down to 11,000 feet.
Okay.
Again, if you already know this stuff, I'm just not sure how. I don't mean to be too basic.
Okay. No, we're good here.
All right.
Yeah, like continue on.
So we're gonna dial it down to 11,000 feet, and then when we cross the top of descent, which is basically right now,
Okay.
we're gonna, the basic way to go is to enable vertical speed mode, just like our propeller planes on autopilot, and then use that dial over there. It's inconveniently located. You might even want to move over to the co-pilot seat because it's just easier to see. So now when we hit any vertical speed mode like
I'll be back
speed
in a
or
second.
okay,
Okay. Vertical speed.
Yeah, so it's on the right, by the dial, the up-down dial on your primary flight controls up at the top center, by your autopilot. So you see VS at the left of your screen there, top left.
Oh
See,
yeah,
it's over here. No.
no. That's vertical
Sorry, I'm
speed.
watching the wrong stream again, accidentally. So click vertical speed, VS,
Okay.
and then dial down your, if you come, give us like 1,000 feet down per minute using that dial that's next to the vertical speed, up,
Yeah.
down. If you come back over here, you'll see it's showing what speed you're dialing in.
Oh shoot.
You're good. And then we gotta reduce throttle because we're gonna start speeding.
You want it down to 1,000?
Back over. No, come back over and look at your PFD.
Yeah, because I'm at negative 0.5.
Okay, see that little blue ball that's on the 4?
Yeah.
You want to dial it down really far right now.
Okay, right
get
down
to that blue ball.
Okay.
Blue ball. That kind of gives you the. But see, your speed is coming way up, so we gotta go to idle basically.
Yeah.
And might even need some speed brake. This is when it gets tense
Yeah.
with this plane. It's either, every time you look at it, it's either too fast or too slow.
Okay.
So you can use this side because your dial's right there. If you kind of back up your view, you can see it all at once. And I don't know if you can still see, but we want to match that blue ball. And as we go down, there's also a snowflake next to the altitude tape. So it's saying, you know, we're high because we started descending a little late. But you'll see that white snowflake come up from the bottom, and you want to keep it in the middle.
Okay.
But a visual indicator is to match that blue ball.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm going down about minus 4.3.
Sorry, Sizzlin. Just give me 10 seconds. You're doing okay here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, no problem. No. Good.
I'm back.
It started to stutter, and I was like, "Oh no!" Get all the way here
You
and
might
have
want to throw. You might want to throw out some speed brake, because
speed brakes on the other side.
it is, of course. It's that knob that's sticking up, that over there by your yeah. Just to kind of slow her down. We can always extend when we get to the end of the star, you're going to have a discontinuity, so we can bleed off any extra altitude then.
Okay.
And then the good news is, once we get established on the ILS, it will fly itself to the ground with the exception of the throttle. So you still have to watch your speed, but other than that, it will do everything it can to stay on the glide slope.
Okay.
But this between here and there is when it's like, just requires a lot of attention.
Okay. Yeah, that star's now on the top.
Yeah, but just stay on the blue. Oh, see, the blue has moved up to 2,000
Oh,
feet,
yeah.
so you want to use that dial to match it. That's good, and that probably means you can maybe let in the speed brake for now. That's what I was telling you. This plane is quite manual in this phase of the flight.
Okay. And like what Mountain said, it's like it's active. Like,
Yes, you're busy. So you might even want to put your, let me look up and see what the altimeter is there at Vancouver.
okay.
Could probably pop that in now.
If I press,
Give me a second.
if I press B, what? Oh no, I see what you mean.
If you push B when you're below 18,000 feet, it should set the altimeter for you.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I'm just about to cross 18,000.
The altimeter is 2983.
2983. Okay.
And you can go ahead. You might, just for instruction purposes, you might even, if you want to, put on your landing lights and get all that stuff done, because it starts getting real fast.
Okay. 2982 is
2983.
83. Okay, because they have it at 82 when I press the B.
Oh, okay. Stay with that then.
Okay.
I was looking on a web page, so whatever the sim says. And see, you're a little low now, just slightly below the blue dot.
Yes. Okay.
And then remember, at 10,000 feet, we've got to be slowed. You already are. And it's okay to go slow right now. We'll try to have it totally configured to land before we turn onto that glide slope, or onto the ILS heading. It dials in the ILS automatically for you. That's nice.
Okay.
If you try to look down and see the range, the co-pilot has a range button too, right there. Does that one work to close in the map? Nope. It's so weird. But see that purple banana, that magenta banana is showing that. That's showing where it thinks you're going to reach the altitude that you have dialed in.
Okay.
So that's good. And after that, once we get to that altitude and we cross that next restriction, we're going to dial it down to 8,000,
Yep.
I believe. But that's in a little bit. Did you freeze?
It's moving, but yeah, it's stuttering.
Ugh. Yeah.
And it's not on ultra; it's just high end.
Yeah, I think some of it's like when you get a lot of other planes around.
Yeah. I could pick up the speed, but just under 220, or
Yeah,
Mach.
I think if you try to stay there for a little bit, I think that's good.
Stay here, okay?
You don't want to be going too fast in this plane, especially your first time trying to do this. It's better to err on the side of going a little slower.
Then overshoot.
Right. Just gives you more time to react. But then at the end, we'll try to keep it to like 160 knots until we're established on the localizer.
Okay.
And even after, until we get really close, because you look away for 10 seconds and all of a sudden you're stalling. It slows down. Looking good though.
Yeah.
So once we get to 12,000, you'll hear a warning that we're within 1,000 feet of our dialed in altitude.
Yep. Just got.
And that, I believe that means even if you dial down the altitude further right now, it's not going to go there, but I'm not positive. Maybe mountain knows for sure.
Say that again?
So so now it's flashing altitude capture. So it's gonna go to 11,000. You could dial the altitude down if you have a minute to 8,000 now. It'll still stop at 11.
Okay.
And then when we pass that waypoint.
Yeah, just as long as he's not down in the vertical climb.
Right.
Or, vertical. If his vertical is 0.0, then it'll just fly straight.
Oh, yeah, and I see that. I gotta bring that back down.
Yeah, at YVR we want to be at 8,000 feet. So now we can hit vertical. Let's see here. Where are we on the path?
Oh,
Yeah, we want to hit vertical speed again.
yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay. And then follow that blue ball. There's other ways to descend this plane, but this is like the one they teach you first.
The one I would teach someone first is just take and dunk it.
Remember I was telling you, it does have VNAV. If you went on the EFB and you pressed and you went into options and enabled VNAV, another button would appear below that vertical speed button, VNAV. But it's not really true VNAV, I don't think, because you still have to control your own speed.
Okay. Come on. I'm going up. Keeps pushing down.
What's your speed? We're way too slow. Way too slow. We gotta floor it. I think we should be at least 160.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I'm down to about 140.
Yeah, and we don't have any flaps down, do we?
No. And
So
I'm,
I would get it up to 160 and then we could go 20 degrees of flaps at that point.
yeah.
You gotta hit the throttle. Like, jam it.
Okay.
What's going on here?
170. We're getting down to 8,000.
Okay, we can set it down to 3,000 now, because at that next waypoint it wants us at 3,000.
Okay. Oh, we're climbing.
Yeah, we're like, see, so what it's doing is because we're going too slow, the trim is going way up. So you got to give it a lot of gas right now to get it to level out. If you look outside, we're probably, our nose is pointing way up.
Yeah. I can, yeah, because we're on the vertical speed.
And then maybe give it a little nose down to let it speed up, like with your stick. See, it gets tough.
Yeah, because it never caught on to the 8,000 altitude.
Do we have flaps out?
No, flap.
Okay. Flaps 20. You're having a typical first flight in the CRJ, so don't feel bad.
Alright.
Mountain, any advice here? Or?
I don't. His
I wouldn't mind
autopilot's
take
off.
autopilot. Oh, your autopilot is off.
His
That's the
autopilot's
problem.
off.
Okay, it's back on.
It's gonna correct itself now.
Okay. Because it's.
We're really stalling though.
Yeah, it's just going nose up. It's correcting.
Good. See that trim over there indicator went into the green. That's good. So try and keep it at about 160. And as a video I watched the other night, you've got to be aggressive with that throttle. Like, you can't let it get too far from 160.
Oh,
Either way.
Because I'm into like toga.
Yeah. Whatever. Now it's going to be better. So the trim is in a reasonable range. Now just keep it there using throttle. And then we'll just take an extended downwind here and get down to 3,000. So hit vertical speed now.
Okay.
And then follow the blue arrow or blue ball.
And then I can put the altimeter down to 3,000.
Exactly.
Oh.
We can give it, yeah. Watch your speed. Are we at 14,000 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. We could probably go to idle. Just go to idle now.
So I'm at 220,000. 220.
Yeah, we're way too high. Speed brake. we're probably gonna have to do a 360,
Okay.
turn off the autopilot, or turn off nav.
Right now?
Yeah, because we're really high and we're supposed to be at 3,000 feet and we're
Yeah,
at
okay.
9,000 feet.
Because now it's turning towards the runway.
Right. So if we, you should be able to steer it now and maybe just do a 360 to the right while we descend.
Okay.
Will it not?
I gotta just take
Turn.
the autopilot off.
Yep. And then hand fly a 360 while we. Sorry, this is as good as I can do. It's challenging,
Yeah.
but when you get it, it's pretty cool.
Oh, there's Liars.
Flying?
Yeah, flying.
Oh, cool.
Probably in the DC-6.
Yeah, if you do I think a heading of 240, maybe we could just go opposite the runway until we get down to like 5,000 feet or.
Okay. I'm at 6,000.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe try to follow that jazz flight. So
Trying to
we could probably turn back on the autopilot. And then we want to hit the approach button, which is kind of towards the middle of that panel. APPR. After you turn back on, you gotta move that disconnect switch up. That's below, yeah, and then hit. And then turn back around towards the runway.
Do I have to manually turn it?
We're getting pretty low. Okay, it's gonna stay at 3,000 feet. Once it hits 3,000 feet. Yeah, you turn it, you have to manually turn it right now. What you could do is press heading, or you can just manually fly it around to about 80 degrees.
Okay.
Turn right, yeah.
I think I gotta take the autopilot off again.
Normally we could use heading mode too,
Yeah.
but we'll do that. Just watch your speed and
Yeah,
you
I
want to
see.
stay at 160. See, now we're getting kind of low.
Yeah.
Nice. And then maybe, okay, we want to get the autopilot back on with the approach mode so that you capture that glide slope.
Okay.
Let's see what she does here. Watch her speed.
It's going down.
Hmm.
And going left.
Oh, it's capturing the localizer. That's good. It's turning to at least get the path to the And we're looking at that white GS.
Okay.
And once that turns green, which I think you're looking pretty good right now, if you can keep the speed around 160.
Yeah, we're at 180.
Just, yeah, gently. And that snowflake is coming up. Hopefully it's gonna... We should intercept this glide slope pretty soon if we can. Looks good.
Yeah,
We want to get, actually, you might want to get your gear out and then go full flaps while keeping it around 160.
yeah.
Did he hit the approach button yet?
Yeah.
We have the localizer. We're waiting for the glide slope. And even if we don't get the glide slope,
Yeah, bring it back.
just a little, yeah.
You're on glide slope now.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So-
Okay, so now
now-
we just got managed speed.
So
About
so now
150,
just
160.
watch your speed.
Okay.
Nice. You can go back to the other seat now if you want.
Oh, I'm comfortable here now. Gotta hurry up here. Where?
Speed. Gears down, flaps are full.
Yeah.
All right. And I say that on my own flights, like,
But like you said, like it's a lot, and like I gotta bring the speed
A
back
lot.
up. Yeah. And that's why there's a pilot and co-pilot.
exactly. You're managing two workloads. But it's looking great.
Yeah, because at full flaps, the max you can do is 170. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth. But yeah, the radar now, if you look at it, there's nothing.
Yeah, change the format over there by the range button. It's the thicker one at the bottom, and pull. I think it's a counterclockwise turn. But that display is not working, so
Yeah.
that's been a challenge. Speed.
Speed.
Speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, it looks perfect. So basically you're gonna get down to the runway and maybe, in about 1 minute, just try to bring it back to like 140 and then down to 120 slowly. And then you'll disengage the autopilot at the end of the runway and land it.
So I've got to land it.
Yeah, at the end, the very end, like when you get over the runway lights,
Okay, yeah, threshold.
take it off. And it should be all trimmed out already, so it's just kind of...
Well,
It
too
shouldn't
low.
be too hard.
What? What's your
speed?
Len?
Bring it back up to 160.
Maybe now
Yeah.
like 140.
Hover around like 150, 160.
Yeah,
I
better to
know
be
that-
going too fast. It's a long runway.
I could tell that you were a little low because of the pappy lights.
Yeah.
500.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Now
You're
we
spot
got.
on there.
400.
Awesome. So,
300.
like maybe about now, you could turn off the autopilot and then just grab your and kill your throttle over the numbers, and it floats a little bit. So you gotta give
It's
it a
gonna
little
float
nose
a
down.
lot. You're at the
Little nose down.
Sync rate.
You still got this.
100.
Yeah, you're good.
This plane really likes to float, Sizzling.
30.
Okay.
Yeah, and when it does touch down, push the nose down into the ground a little bit. Yep. Nice.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. It wasn't that pretty, but no, I don't think anybody's first flight in this plane was pretty.
No.
And I don't know why you had that equipment failure. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome to Vancouver.
Thank you. I can't turn there.
All right.
Wow.
Let's park this bad boy. It's got a mechanical problem.
So, man, which gate do I go for your service?
Yeah.
Any gate you want to.
Yeah.
I go where the airplane is. The airplane doesn't come to me.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, your next flight, you'll be even better and better. It just takes constant
yeah.
practice with this thing.
Like you said, like I'll try and watch some of those videos and take some notes so that because then I can have my iPad in front of me and then be like, okay, this is what I need to do when before pushback.
Right.
Because the thing is, sometimes the checklist, okay, but where is it? I might be able to jot a note exactly where it is.
Yep.
Oh, okay. This is default. Because I was like, I've got 2 Vancouver DLCs, and none of them are in.
Well, my food is here for dinner. It was fun.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
We can do it again, and if you do this, if you practice this time next week, you'll probably be a pro.
Yeah. All right. So after you're done, we go back to San Fran.
Right.
Yeah. Then it's like 3 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
Then my son will be waking me up at like 6 or 7 probably. But yeah, that was fun, guys. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And yeah, Mountain, good luck over the next month.
Thank you, sir. I'm nervous, excited, and all that in one.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Yeah, have a good night, guys. See
See
ya.
you.
Good night,
Sizzling.
sir. Good job on that landing. Awesome to see you land that in one piece and get it to me at the gate. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Now
All
it's
right.
time for me to go to work.
Yeah, that's right. Have a good one, guys.